Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of Ed's Attention to Detail. So today I want to kind of wrap up or finalize the F4U Corsair. This is a 1/48 scale Revell kit. I started building this a long time ago. In fact, I've put out several videos. I actually did a semi-final video on this, but let me consult my notes so I get this correct. Let's see. So January 29th of 2020, I did the Medal of Honor recipient Lieutenant Hudner F4U-4 Corsair, and then in April 3rd of 2020, now again 2020, this is almost 2024, so nearly 4 years ago that I built this kit, and I was looking for a set of decals at that time. The decals that I wanted were for the aircraft that Ltjg Thomas Hudner flew along with his wingman, who was Ensign Jesse Brown. Ensign Jesse Brown was the first African-American naval aviator, and so he's actually kind of famous for that. But the story about Lieutenant J.G. Hudner was that Ensign Brown got shot down. This is all kind of in a nutshell, okay? Ensign Brown got shot down. Lieutenant J.G. Hudner was his wingman. He saw that Ensign Brown was still alive after he had crash landed his airplane, and so Lieutenant Hudner got permission and crash landed his aircraft next to Ensign Brown's plane on the side of this mountain in Korea, near the Chosin Reservoir. So Lieutenant Hudner tried as best he could, but he could not extract Jesse Brown from the wreckage, and unfortunately Ensign Jesse Brown perished in this incident. Lieutenant Hudner was rescued by a rescue helicopter. Now, if you guys think that this story sounds familiar, it's because there was a book that was written, and let me reference the author real quick, Adam Makos, but the book was called Devotion, and there was also a movie that was produced last year. It was released anyway, last November of 2022, and that movie is also by the title Devotion, and it tells the story of Thomas Hudner and Jesse Brown, a little bit of the family life, mostly the squadron life. There are some embellishments in the movie. Now, I only know this because I've done a little bit of research, but for the most part, the movie is accurate as far as Jesse Brown and Thomas Hudner and their friendship, and what happened, this crash when he was shot down. This was on December 4th of 1950. So, but anyway, so I've been looking and I've been asking, even in these two previous videos that I did, does anybody know where I could find this this decal sheet? And it's in the video. But they were out of stock, they were out of print, and of course nobody said they had one that they could give me or would like to part with. So this has been sitting in a box for the last almost 4 years, waiting for me to get a set of decals. Now, the importance of the movie Devotion was that when it was released, I figured that they might actually reproduce the decals, and I was correct. They did reproduce the decals for this model, and so as you can see here, 203 is actually the aircraft that Jesse Brown was flying that day, according to most of the squadron mates. Now, there is some question that a few of them aren't real sure that it was 203, but on the decal sheet it is 203, the one that Jesse Brown was flying that day. And then 205, this one right here, is the one that Lieutenant Thomas Hudner, or Lieutenant J.G. Thomas Hudner was flying that day. Now, Neither one of these aircraft exists today because they were crashed, and subsequently they were bombed with bombs and with napalm to make sure that these aircraft did not end up in the hands of the enemy at the time. So that's what we're going to be doing, is we're going to be putting this decal sheet on the model. And we have a couple more better looking photos that I'll be using of where the decals are going to go. But so that's the purpose. Now, I'm going to put a little personal spin on this, and I'm not trying to muscle in on a Medal of Honor winner. Not at all. I mean, what happened that day was just amazing. I mean, Lieutenant Hudner went so far above and beyond trying to take care of his friend, his wingman. Just, you know, amazing. He's very deserving of the Medal of Honor, in my opinion. But my personal spin on this is they were both in VF-32 at the time. When I retired from the Navy, I was in VFA-32. It's the same squadron. You can trace the lineage all the way through. So just to give you kind of a brief background on that, and that's why I use my notes here. So originally they were VF-4A, and this was in 1946. They were flying the F-8F Bearcat. Now you watch the movie and they'll open up with them flying the Bearcat. And then they were redesignated VF-32 on 7 August 1948. And shortly thereafter, they got the F4U-4 Corsair. Again, very well documented in the movie. They deployed on USS Leyte, CV-32, another coincidence, VF-32 on CV-32. I can't make this up. And that was an Essex-class aircraft carrier back in the day, a straight deck landing, or a straight deck aircraft carrier, where a lot of the aircraft carriers today have angled decks on them. So anyway, they deployed on USS Leyte, and they ended up off of Korea during the Korean War, and that's how this incident happened on 4 December 1950. Now, I already mentioned that Lieutenant J.G. Hudner received the Medal of Honor for his actions that day. Ensign Jesse Brown received the Distinguished Flying Cross posthumously, of course, you know, after he died. So just an amazing story. Like I said, I was in VFA-32 when I retired, and the one thing that I thought was really neat, and I wished I had more documentation on it, but when I was in VFA-32, and this was 2009, 2008, 2009 timeframe, we were actually giving an award to some of our junior sailors, and it was called the Hudner Award. It was in honor of Lieutenant J.G. Thomas Hudner and his selfless acts that day. And of course, we gave it to junior sailors, this award for just outstanding achievement, you know, above and beyond, just, you know, being a model sailor. And it was usually a E4 or E5 awardee, but I'm not real sure if they still continue to this day give the Hudner Award, but I know that at least in 2008, 2009, we gave that award out. It was an annual award. And I actually reached out to a couple of people that I'm still in contact with that was in VFA 32 with me. They did not have any information that they could give me other than what I already had. And I tried to contact the squadron, and they are still an active duty U.S. Navy squadron, but they are deployed currently. So I was not able to get a hold of them. And with what it is that they're doing now, my question is not of any importance or significance. So that's enough of the information about me rambling. I'm going to go ahead and put these decals on, and I'm going to kind of film that. It'll be sped up so you guys can kind of watch as we go. One more look at the decal sheet. You'll notice that I have decals to do aircraft 217, aircraft 203, and aircraft 205. And of course, we're going to be doing 205 with the K on the tail and the VF-32 logos. So we're basically going to be using this right here in the middle of the decal sheet. So another thing that you're going to see me doing is I've got some Q-tips, and when I first lay the decal down, I'm going to have these wet with water, and I'm going to be rolling the air out from underneath the decal. But I've also got in this bottle right here, this is floor acrylic, and it used to be called Future. I'm not sure what they call it now, but it is a clear acrylic, and I will be going back with a different Q-tip once I got the decal down, and I'm going to be wetting the Q-tip up with it and then rolling the Q-tip across it with the Future. And what that's going to do is it's going to seal the decal to the aircraft, and once everything's good and dry, that decal should not come off, because remember, I still need to mask it and paint this white line across the tail and the propeller hub. So I don't want my decals to come off, so I'm going to seal them to the airplane using the Future. And I've never had a problem in the past of the tape pulling anything off once I've done that. So you're going to see that during this video. So I'm going to go ahead and speed it up from here, and hopefully you guys enjoy watching this come together. So here's the finished product. Got all the decals on it. Got it sealed. And like I said earlier, the only thing I've got left to do is to put the white stripe on the tail and paint the propeller hub white. But for the humble beginnings of this model kit and the lack of detail that actually comes in this kit, I gotta say that it turned out pretty nice. I think this is a very nice memorial to Thomas Hudner, as well as to Jesse Brown and all the men and women of VF32 and today's Squadron VFA32. Okay guys, so that's a wrap. Once I get the stripe on the tail and the nose spinner painted, this is going to be done. I mean, it's final. So I hope you enjoy watching the build progress. Check out the old videos. The link's going to be in the video description so that you can go find those and you can watch and you can kind of see how this thing come together. I never actually mentioned in this video about it used to be painted pink and purple. You can go back and check that out if you'd like. But I'm not going to mention somebody thought that this model would look cool painted pink and purple, and they had never built a model before. And once they kind of got into it, they realized that model building just wasn't quite for them. And so I ended up with the model. And now you know the rest of the story. So that's all I got. Take care. God bless. Remember, pay attention to the details. See you again soon. Bye.